Hey sis, it's your girl. Welcome back for another video. As the title states, we've got a girl talk, okay? So go ahead and get you a snack, a beverage, whether it be alcoholic or non, okay? And we're gonna sit down and we're gonna spill the tea, get into some things. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, sis, so before we get into the nitty gritty and what today's video is actually about, I just want to say, hey to all of my returning supporters, girl. I love you down. I appreciate all of the support and for you watching every single one of my videos and engaging with me down in the comments. To the girls that are just stumbling upon my face, hey girl, I am Kaseywithakayy, okay? And simply to be a part of Casey's clique, and that's click with a K, because you know we K down over here. All you have to do is subscribe, girl. It's completely free. Go ahead and subscribe if you're feeling the video and feeling the vibe, which I know you will be. We're gonna have tons of fun over here. We're all about uplifting, positivity, you know, talking about everything girl. Okay, like this is what today's video is about. It's a girl talk, and I love these because we're able to kind of get down onto certain topics. Think about this as though it's like a podcast sort of scenario, okay? And y'all are my co-hosts, all right? So today's theme, we're just gonna jump right into it. I was thinking really like seriously yesterday. I was just like, okay, I really want to do a sit down video. I love the sit down videos. I love how we chat and dialogue down in the comments. You know, we love everything fashion, lifestyle, beauty, and all of those things, but it's also very much a, you know, community over here. I know that I do have male supporters, and so I don't want to leave y'all out in any way. This may give you insight into women in your life or help you navigate your relationships with a special woman that's in your life. Okay, so all are welcome, but you know, this is geared toward my girls, okay, period. Okay, so today's topic, I was thinking yesterday and I was just like, what do I want to talk about? Like, I got some things to say, but what do we want to focus on? And I was thinking like yesterday, because I've been really in my soft life era, okay? And it's so funny how just like a couple of months, a year or so ago, soft life was everywhere. Like you heard that phrase on everyone's content, in everyone's captions on Instagram. There was some version of soft life something. And it started off very positive. Like the girls were like, yeah, I love this vibe. I love this, you know, I love whatever this is all about. And then if y'all recall, a couple months back, it received a lot of backlash, okay? That whole movement, I guess you can call it, received a lot of backlash because it was starting to become a little exclusive. It wasn't inclusive. And the girls were just like, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. No, you don't belong here, okay? Like it was just becoming one of those. And, you know, I found that a lot of people departed from mentioning it, from making that a part of their content, from adopting aspects of that into their life. And so I just want to bring it back, okay? I want to bring it back, but in the way that it was meant. So we're going to go down a few different points here and just kind of go over what I view soft life to be and what it means to me. And I'm, you know, really interested in seeing and hearing about you all's journey down in the comments, as long as it's respectful and keeping it cute, okay? This is a safe place. And so I just want to preface by saying that if you're sharing your journey or your experience, just, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it grown, keep it cute, so we can all learn from one another and just, you know, learn about different journeys and stuff. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, so somewhere along the way, it turned into more of an aesthetic than kind of what I think it intended to be. It started to feel like it was only supposed to fit one type of woman. And to be honest with y'all, I'm not her, okay? I'm not that one type of woman, whatever you envisioned. And we're going to get into what I think, you know, soft life changed into solely. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with how, you know, the views of soft life era and the different types of women that fits. I just feel like it should include, you know, everyone deserves to feel soft, okay? It shouldn't just look one sort of way, and I guess that's the point of this video. So if you guys see me looking down, I have a lot to say, and I'm the type of person that, like, I will just start yapping, bouncing around. This keeps me just very much focused. So yeah, we're pulling out the phone, and we are looking at our points. But anyway, okay, so I guess I will start with what soft life really means, okay, to me. Okay, this is just to me, girl. Okay, this is how I feel. To me, soft life isn't just like candles, luxury, aesthetic vibes. It is that, but it's also reality. It's also authenticity. It's your real life. You know what I mean? Like, I think when we start to chase after an aesthetic and a vibe, it starts to look more curated than real. If you get me, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, don't get me wrong. Like, maybe you want to start doing a certain thing. Maybe you want to start being a gym girly. Maybe you want to start, having a certain your mornings looking differently, where you're cooking yourself an elaborate breakfast. I completely get it. But I think that when it starts to replace, and seem too like curated, then it can kind of feel like it's not authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love doing new things. Like, I love adopting new things into my routine and then it becoming a part of my routine. But I think that like a lot of people were like seeing, okay, this is that person's soft life and this is what soft life is supposed to be. So now my soft life has to be like that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I personally feel like your soft life does not have to look like the next person's. You know what I mean? It's okay if it's different. It's okay if it's not aesthetic. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's your soft life. So basically it's supposed to, for me, soft life, it's permission and it's presence and it's peace. And I listed that because I was just like really digging deep last night. And I was like, how can I describe this? Ultimately, for me, it's the permission to be soft, to move slowly. It gives me so much peace. I am a girly that suffers from anxiety. And so when I am moving like very intentionally and softly in my everyday life and romanticizing my everyday life, it allows me to just relax. Okay. I'm not so stressed. I'm not so concentrating on all the many things that could go wrong or that are going right. Because anxiety, we'll talk about that in another video, but that's where you live. You live in the future. You live in the what ifs rather than the present. And so for me, I have just seen such a shift in my life by just moving with my routine, moving slowly, moving intentionally, adopting certain positive things into my routine that has allowed me to just like grow, to be honest with you. I feel like that it's such an emphasis like to, your mental, your physical, your spiritual, like when we're moving too fast, when we don't take time for ourselves and have self-care and we don't treat ourselves, we're just working, or we're, spilling over into everybody else's cup or pouring into everybody else's cup except our own. That's when burnout happens. That's when we hit a depression. That's, you know what I mean? All sorts of things. So I feel like it's a larger goal here is that when I am living softly and I am at peace, I am able then to give my all into everything. You know what I mean? Like, I am able to equally pour into myself, my business, my passions, my family, children, like all of those things. It's more balanced, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think I want to reaffirm here because I think that soft life has a negative connotation with a lot of people, and it could be generationally, it could just be people that don't understand like what your definition of soft life is. But I think that there's a lot of stigma around living softly and that person is lazy. Okay, so for example, I'm just gonna start giving examples here so you can kind of better understand. Let's just say this. I'm a full-time content creator right now, right? I have previously worked in corporate America all of my working life, okay? So in very like corporate settings, like, corporate girly down, okay? And in some positions that aren't really creative necessarily, it's just truly corporate. So now I am in a entrepreneurial sort of space right now, and I have a lot of flexibility. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't have responsibilities and obligations. And, if I personally feel like right now, even more so, like I have to be on top of things. Otherwise, okay, you don't have money coming in, or otherwise you don't have opportunities coming in, things like that. So, but I feel like personally in my journey and my experience right now, I feel like, as a full-time content creator, as an entrepreneur, and, a girl, let's just get down to it, a girl that wants to live softly and reside in her softness, that I at times either actually get labeled this way, or I get the feeling that people feel this way of, okay, that's lazy. Oh, like, how do you deserve to have that much flexibility? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you deserve to have that sort of luxury to do that? I guess is what I mean. And to me, I just want to like break that stigma. Living softly and being in your soft girl era, or whatever term or phrase you want to use, does not mean laziness. Okay. You are very intentional in this space. You know what I'm saying? You are very routine and organized. If anything, at least in my personal experience, I feel like by living softly, I've been the most organized I've ever been. And I'm a Virgo and I'm an organized girl. Okay. And I've always felt like I have been able to truly organize and have routines for everything else, except, I don't want to say except my life, because I am very organized and routine driven, but the happy factor is back. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally at peace. I'm more relaxed. I just feel like I'm more aligned. I'm more aligned with the energy. I'm aligned with what's going on in the flow. I used to, because y'all know, some of us ladies can be a little controlling, and men, you know what I mean? If you have controlling tendencies where you're just wanting to take the reins and get stuff done. If you are a getter doner, okay, if you just get done, then sometimes like, that's just what you automatically go to. And what I was finding was I was treating my life as though it was a corporate position. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do it. And I realized like, girl, you're at the mercy of the universe, okay? Whatever you believe in, I'm just saying, like, you can do certain things to put you in a better position, but ultimately you have no say. So all of this stress, all of this like hustle mode, grind mode, sort of vibe that you have about yourself is burning you out. Okay, it's making you very unhappy. It's making you unfulfilled. It's just not working. Simply, it's not working. Okay, so we got to do something about it. Like I said, I felt like the soft life era was starting to feel exclusive. And I'm just looking down here just so I can kind of tell you based on these different factors. I feel like size really came into play. Okay, we got to be honest here. There are a lot of things that I feel like in these different niches exclude a lot of groups, and size is one of them. Soft life era started to look like one particular thing: fit, skinny, you know, like if you didn't go to Pilates, okay, it's not a soft life. If you, or some sort of workout class, if your gym is Planet Fitness versus Equinox, if y'all might get that reference, you know, or a high-end gym, you know, Equinox, it just plugging it right here. I'm not affiliated with them, but they're at a very expensive gym. So wherever you live, just plug in whatever expensive gym you have in your area. And so I felt like size was one of the main factors. So for me as a plus size woman, I automatically was viewed like, girl, you can't be a part of this soft life. Like, look at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't fit this mold. You don't fit this aesthetic, this vibe of what soft should look like. Besides size, I think race, I do think race played a lot into it. As a Black woman, all of my Black and brown sisters may be able to identify here. You know, I feel like from my experience, in the world, a lot of people view my color of my skin that I should be, you know, more rigid, work harder. I shouldn't experience certain luxuries, such as being able to have the freedom to move throughout my day. You know, if I don't work a 9 to 5, then that is uncharacteristic of what I should be doing based on my race. I'll give some more examples in a minute. Class. I really feel like that comes into play too with soft life. Like if you don't make a certain amount, if you don't do a certain thing or have a certain career, if you don't have certain things in your closet, then you can't be living softly. If you don't have a Chanel bag, an Hermes Birkin, if you don't, take luxury vacations, luxury meaning thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're not on a private jet, that's not soft life. And I feel like Girl, wait. When did the bar get like that? When did we say in order to live softly, you have to fit into this category? And lastly, I feel like age plays into a factor with soft life era. And it depends on whatever side you're on. I am in my 30s, so I can only speak for my age group and my generation. But whether it's coming from people younger than you or older than you, I would get it a lot from older people, older generations, older women, and men too, for that matter. Like, you're too young to be living softly. You ain't put enough time. You ain't put enough work. You only been working for how many years? Girl, get back at me when you've worked for 40 plus years. Get back at me when it's retirement, like this idea that, okay, just because you're of a certain age, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, you just haven't done enough to be tired. Okay. And I'm just like, do you know what world we live in right now? You turn on the news, you're tired by the first thing that they talk about. You scroll on TikTok or one of your social media platforms, it's tiring out here. It's exhausting out here. So to me, to put an age to it, I don't see how that could work. Okay. I believe that young women, young men, older women, older men, however you identify, should be able to live softly. I don't want to exclude my men out there, the men that are watching and the men in our lives, because I do also think that men deserve to live softly. I think that this idea of soft, also the word has a negative connotation because it comes across as more feminine. Okay, like a weakness. And I want us to break that stigma. I really do. I want us to get rid of that. Just because something is called soft, there's a lot of power in that word. And whatever soft means to the men in your life or men that's watching this, I don't know what it is that means soft to you. Maybe it means a membership to a gym or something. Maybe it means you taking yourself out. Whatever it looks like for you, everybody deserves to have some softness in their life, because otherwise we are just going to be some angry ass people walking around here, just unfulfilled, like not happy, burnt out. And nobody wants to live that way. Like, we don't know how long we are on this here planet, how, what the tea is, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to make every moment count. I don't want to go through this life, feeling stressed or, just worried. You know what I'm saying? Like, I deserve to do some stuff, girl. So number 4, basically, like I was saying, how people react to your softness. It's a thing, girl, and I'm going to charge my phone up because my phone is about to die, and we need all of that. But yeah, so I'll give you an example. I see this happen a lot, and I peep it. Like, I'm very aware. I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm aware of how people perceive me. I'm aware of how I present myself to the world. And if you are new here, this is your first introduction to me. But if you've been rocking with me for a little bit, or at least caught some of my other videos or follow me on other platforms, I'm a very confident person. I present myself very head high, sister. Okay. Even if we're not feeling the best that day, you will never know, because head up, chin up, like, boom, we owning the moment, owning the room. We are stepping despite race, despite size, whatever, people say that how I should feel about myself. I'm coming correct. So sorry, hopefully y'all can still hear me. This is my mic, by the way. So for example, like, I like to go to Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Okay. If you haven't been able to tell, I love my stores. I love going to my stores all over California. Okay. Like, I don't just stick with the Marshalls and TJ Maxx here in my area, or Sephora's or whatever, Ulta's and stuff. I like, going to new areas, discovering new things, seeing what's tea. So oftentimes I go out during what we would normally call, or society would call, housewife hours, which basically is the time frame of the day where a lot of women who are stay-at-home moms, housewives, or anything like that, run their errands, do their thing while their kids are at school, whatever. So let's just say early morning to late afternoon, 10 to 3. So when I'm walking in these stores, there are other people, women especially, in these stores that do not look like me. And when I tell you, when I am not joking, and people have peeped this before that have been with me. When I walk in the store and I'm, shopping or whatever, I am getting stared at. Okay. And I recently, this happened just 3 days ago. I was in a Marshall's and this lady was like literally sizing me up. And I think she thought that I didn't know, but I peeped it from the beginning. We were in line waiting to go to a register and she was just looking me all the way down to my toes, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, even proceeded to look into my cart, like veer over into my cart or whatever. And you know how you can sense like a person's thought process, like they're looking at you like, how are you here? Like, how are you able to be here right now at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday? Girl, because I can, because God is good and has allowed me to be here. Okay. So it's just, it really is, soft life to me is also about taking up space. And if you don't fit the mold of, traditional society standards and what soft life era had turned into, then you're going to get some stares. You're going to, feel a little bit of the judgment, but don't let that keep you from living softly and taking up space in whatever aspect of life you're in. So yeah, girl, people do not expect curvy women, plus size women to be free. They want us to be locked up. They want our bodies to be locked up. They want our minds to be just gone and us to feel bad about ourselves. And the moment that we break the mold and choose not to do those things, people got some feel a certain way. Okay. And, I can speak for being a woman and a plus size woman and a black woman. So we got a trifecta happening here. So, for my ladies that are watching this right now, wherever you fall into that, whether you are a black woman, a plus size woman, or just a woman in general. Okay. You've sensed that, like, with this society, this world does not want us to be free. Okay. And even my men out there, just as human beings, things have been set up in place, which we ain't gonna get too much into it, so that we just work our life away. And, I think that a lot of international, when you travel overseas, they've kind of cracked the code to that. They have a very balanced sort of life where, yes, they may work, but they are going to play. Okay. Yes, they will work, but they are going to live. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, in the United States, in America, we have just been trained and it's been embedded in us just to work. Money, and those things are good. Work is great. Money is excellent. Okay. Obviously, but if you work your life away, making the money, you never have a chance to enjoy it. Okay. If you don't make time for yourself and you're constantly doing stuff for everybody else, girl, you're going to look up at the, years down the line and be like, where the hell did my life go? I poured every ounce of me into everyone else and now I don't have anything left. So that's why I'm always mindful now and that's why I take this very seriously of living softly and living in my softness, living in my femininity, moving slowly, intentionally, moving with peace and alignment, because I'm tired of fighting against what it is that I need and what I want and what I deserve. This is my birthright. I deserve to live this way. I deserve to wake up every morning and live however I want to live and do the things that I want to do. If I want to make an avocado toast in the morning or get me a matcha, take a little dilly-dally to a new cafe, you know what I'm saying? I should be able to do that. Take myself to an amazing dinner, a restaurant or whatever, and get all dressed up. Of course you should do that, sis. Okay? Of course. Live your best soft life, period. Yeah, so basically number 5, number 5, being soft without permission. You don't need to earn your softness. Okay? You do not need to earn your softness, sis. It is a birthright. Like I just said, it is not a reward. You don't have to do a certain thing, meet a certain goal just to live softly or just to reward yourself for something. Okay? Give yourself what you want. Give yourself what you want, and you shouldn't be made to feel bad about that. You shouldn't make yourself feel bad about wanting these things or doing those things, and people in your life should not make you feel bad for wanting those things or doing those things, okay? Which takes me to number 6, love and partnership. I will say I was already tapped into my softness and wanting to kind of change my life and really make myself a priority. my mental health and just my everyday routine just to feel better overall. And I will say, like I said, I've developed these things even before, getting married. But I will say that it is such a privilege to have a love or partnership or relationship that allows you and holds space for you to continue to do that. Okay. And I think that allows your softness to deepen. I am so thankful that I have a partner that sees my softness and sees how I treat myself and the life that I want to live and that I continue to live, and gives me space and gives me that softness in return. You know what I'm saying? And I want that for everyone, no matter how you identify, what you're into, whatever, love is love. And I think that's something that we need to prioritize, because I have been in relationships, situationships, or whatever. I have observed other people's relationships and have seen how, people just can't exist. They can't live in their peace. They can't move softly because they are judged at every turn by their partner, by someone that's closest to them, about the fact that they shouldn't be at rest, that they always have to be doing something. And that it is lazy if you are, moving slowly or softly or intentionally. So yeah, I just wanted to preface by saying that. So if there's anyone that feels like love is supposed to look, shouldn't look this way, or shouldn't help you into your softness, or shouldn't further your softness, I want to say that I think you should give it a different go. Okay. I think everyone deserves to be supported. I think everyone deserves to be, to be soft. And keep in mind, like I said, we want to break the stigma that soft means feminine or weak. And so I do think that your significant other, the men in your life, also deserve to still have that softness and be allowed that space to do things and have a routine that grants them that flexibility, that grants them that softness. I know that men are the providers, and they're, all of these things that society says a man is and a woman is, and I'm not knocking that. But I do think, like, for me personally, I also want to work hard so that my husband can take rest. You know what I'm saying? I too want to take the kids so that my husband can go hang out with his friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that I feel like we also have to implement in our relationships and be mindful of, so that we can both be soft, so that we can both have a routine and be at peace. And yeah. And like I said, whatever that looks like for you, I don't want what I'm saying to dictate, like, okay, soft should mean just flexibility and being an entrepreneur. And no, that's just what my softness is right now in the span of my life. Okay. My softness can look a little differently in a couple of months. It might look a little differently in a couple of years. But I think that's the whole point of this video and this girl talk, is to open up dialogue and try to see, like, what is your version of softness? So down in the comment section, we're going to take a moment. Go ahead and pause me, girl. Don't exit out. Just go ahead and pause me. All of my supporters, my part of my clique, okay? And then, like I said, if you're not a part of the clique, it's free. All you got to do is subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. Go ahead and do that right now, first of all, okay? But down in the comment section, go ahead and drop your experience, your journey, any questions that you have about the soft life era. Like I said, keep it cute in the comments. Keep it respectful. This is a safe place and space for you to just be vulnerable and that sort of thing. But like I said, this is just to kind of open up dialogue and get us all talking. Okay, period. Yeah, so number 7, and we're almost to the end, girl. If you gotten with me this far, I appreciate you. Okay. Number 7, reclaiming the narrative. So the soft life isn't one size fits all, and that's the point. Okay. You define it. You deserve it. Okay. It doesn't matter if you don't fit the mold, if you don't look like what it's supposed to be. What is it supposed to be, sis? Okay, this is Burger King. You can have it your way. All right, like, customize it. I'm a customized girl. Okay, yeah, no, I don't like it like that. I want it like this. It don't matter if we gotta pay a little bit more. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's going to take a little bit more time. But we're gonna customize it and do it how we want to do it. And so, yeah, let's switch the narrative up, okay? Because I'm just tired of doing what everybody else is doing and saying what everybody else is saying. I am challenging us to just live how we want to live. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with you implementing new things into your routine, into your soft life. If you see a girl going to Pilates, you're like, you know what, that looks like fun. I want to start doing, being more fit and active, and I want to start doing some classes like that. Girl, do it. Okay. But what I'm challenging us to get rid of is this idea that, oh, I have to do that in order to fit into this soft life. Oh, I have to make this sort of money in order to, no, girl, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Okay. I promise you. My phone is going nuts right now. Okay. So we about to wrap this up. Number 8, I guess I will kind of wrap things up here and say, if you have ever felt like softness wasn't for you, it wasn't something that you deserve, I want to say that you deserve it. Okay. That, again, this is not a reward. You don't have to achieve something or do a certain amount of things or have lived a certain amount of years in order to implement these into your routine, to live softly, to take up space, to just do whatever you want to do. Okay. If you choose to have an hour shower routine and that is you living softly every evening, girl, do it. Guy watching this, do it. Okay. I'm just going to stop saying girl and guy, and I'm just going to say, click, do it. Okay. Go ahead and do what makes you happy. Ultimately. It's yours. It's always been yours. It has always been your birthright to live softly, to choose the things that you want to pour into and have poured into you. Okay. Yeah. I'm just like, it's like I'm thinking about it too. I'm just like, yeah, that's just like, girl, you've come so far. Like, I'm even thinking about my journey. You know what I mean? Like, there was aspects of myself where I would just pour everything into work. I was working myself into oblivion. And then I looked up 8 years later and had nothing to show for it. And what I mean by that is my personal life was in the trash. You know what I mean? Like, I hadn't seen my friends in forever. I wasn't out like dating and being social and stuff like that. I wasn't taking myself out on dates or, like self-caring and any of that type of stuff. And now I look at where I am now, and those are necessities for me now. You see what I'm saying? Me tapping in with my friends, me going out with the girls, that's a necessity. Me, loving on my husband and pouring into him and him pouring into me and that sort of thing. That is a priority for me. Self-care, non-negotiable. Okay. Me doing an 11 a.m. little dilly dally at TJ Maxx or Marshall's just because I can and I want to. Oh yes, ma'am. We're going to do it, So I just hope and want to send your way that, I hope everyone gets to experience the soft life. I don't think it's just one size fits all. I think it's for anybody. As long as you want it, you can have it. Yeah, girl, that's it. That's it. That's all I had to say. I think we've basically gotten to the end. But yeah, I'm really curious to know about your guys' journey, what you think soft life is. If you haven't adopted aspects of soft life, is that something that you're interested in doing? Or what tips and tricks have you implemented to just let go and just go with the flow and, those sorts of things. Like I said, it could be affirmations, it could be manifestations, journaling, it could be, fitness, it could be a number of things, whatever it looks like. That's what I love about this. It's like, it really is customizable. That's why I feel like strongly, girl, your soft life may not look anything close to mine. Ours may match identically or close to, but the next person may be like, oh yeah, mine ain't nothing like that, and that's what makes it so cool. And so if you are a content creator, even if you're not, but if you are a content creator, I challenge you to create some content showing your soft life. Okay. If you are a person that just likes to post on social media, don't be scared to post your kitchen, girl. You making avocado toast just because it's not an aesthetic kitchen. Girl, if you don't make that damn avocado toast, in that kitchen that's yours? Because who paid the bills? You do. Okay, and they paid, right? Okay, yeah. Don't let society say that you can't do something just because it doesn't fit what it should look like. And that's that on that, okay? I love you guys. I am just so thankful that we are growing this community. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that has continued to show me love, to all of the girls and guys, to the clique, okay? Let me know if y'all like that name. I really do. Click with a K, okay? Casey's Clique. I love that. That have stopped by and have poured into me, have commented on my videos, have reaffirmed and told me, you know, that you are so inspirational and I love your content. I love your video. I love your vibe. I love your, you know, your smile, like you're uplifting, you're helping me during this difficult time. Like that is so rewarding for me. And I am so forever grateful for that. I have come such a long way. And during, you know, over the course of the next, however long I'm going to be doing this, y'all, years and years, hopefully, I'm going to definitely share my testimony and you get bits and pieces in certain videos. So make sure you watch because I kind of let you guys in a little bit, but I will say like I have come such a long way. The journey is truly just beautiful. Like it's so easy to want to get to the final destination and to have already conquered that thing or achieve that goal or whatever, but it's really the journey that matters. Okay. It's really the evolution of your becoming that's just so beautiful. So thank you guys so much for sticking in here and watching the entire video. Again, don't forget to dialogue with me down in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. And I think this was a good ass girl talk. Okay. If you also want to drop some suggestions for future girl talks, let me know down in the comment section. I am taking some suggestions. I have a little short list of options, but I am open to discussing certain things that you guys want to discuss. And maybe down the line, we could do a little girl talk, a live version of it though, like maybe on Instagram or TikTok live. I don't know how that all works, but or YouTube live or whatever. Y'all just let me know what you prefer. We'll do this like in this format for a while, and then I think for a good topic we may have to do a live version. That would be fun. All right, I'm gonna go, y'all. My phone is buzzing and beeping and I gotta see what I'm missing, but I'll catch you guys in the next video.